Our stories are brilliant. We are resilient. Our stories are brilliant. We are resilient.
Hi, welcome, resilient listeners. I wanted to take a second and tell you how excited I am to have our new guest on the show. This is Jocey Wiitanen, and I'll let her introduce herself and tell you a little bit more about what she does. Hi, Jocey.
Hi, I am so happy to be here. So my name, like she says, is Jocey Wiitanen, and I am a wife. I am a dog mom to a sweet little Pomeranian. I am currently pivoting my career into becoming a life coach. So I have been spending my time in quarantine learning new things. And that's how me and Jen actually met, was in a made to do this business course. And I've just been immersing myself into just learning this new career. And before this, I was a cosmetologist for the last 10 years, just behind the chair, making people beautiful.
Fun.
And so, yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Excellent. So where are you located at, Jocey?
So I call it the middle of nowhere, North Dakota. My husband is a geologist out here working in the oil fields, and that's what brought us out here.
Oh, interesting. Okay. That's really cool. That's really cool. My son is actually he's a freshman at the U of O, University of Oregon, because that's where I'm located. And he is going into geology, so that's one of his fields. Yeah.
I know my husband really, really likes working in geology. It tests his brains, but he's gotten really good at it over the years.
Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. So what made you choose to change your current project, to pivot, as you say?
So my big pivot, I think, actually started back in 2017 when I was teaching at the Aveda Institute in Austin, Texas. I really enjoyed teaching, and my students always called me the inspiring teacher, the motivational speaker. Like, they always said that to me. And it just kind of reinforced that maybe this is something I should look into. And another reason that I think the coaching world has been really calling my name is every time I take any sort of like quiz online on what type of job I should be in, what my profession is, I love those quizzes. It always lands on teacher. It always lands on coaching and mentoring. And so I started looking into it, and it's been a really fun, awesome thing. And I've grown so much just from the courses I've taken myself. And I've seen such a shift in the way I show up in the world that I just can't wait to like give that back and help others as well.
Ooh, that's great. I mean, and I love the fact that you're listening to the feedback that you've already gotten before you kind of listen to those voices in your head, you're like, oh, wait, everyone else is telling me what a good teacher I am. Maybe I should.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh, how interesting. So do you have a time in your life that you want to talk about a little bit when you feel like you've been resilient in your life? It could be something like, grief or medical events or a big life struggle or change.
Well, I'm a first generation immigrant from Haiti. I moved to America when I was, 6 years old. And so I say my resilience started at a very young age, coming to America, starting first grade, not knowing a word of English, and just persevering since then.
Wow.
And my parents have always taught us that hard work is what gets us to have a good life. And so I've just always been a hard worker, a resilient person who always kind of, if I want something, I put my mind to it, I will make it happen. And so there's been a lot of stories in my life that I feel where I have gone on and been resilient. Probably one of my most cherished stories is back in 2018. I did my first solo trip abroad. I I left here and went to Southeast Asia all by myself. And I was able to travel for 5 months overseas. And I call it my awakening because it was so cool to be in a different country with different cultures and different languages. Like I became so fascinated. I got really into meditation there. I got into the healing work of it all and just learning how to go with the flow of life. It was such an amazing experience that it kind of has shaped me to be who I am today.
Ooh, oh, I love that. I love that because one of the things that traveling does, it really it's kind of one of those things that makes you become more of who you are, because there's less of the stuff you have at home. All the stuff you have, like, I don't know about you, but when I travel, it's like a backpack and that's it.
Yep.
And, so you have to, you're really more of yourself.
Yep.
What was your favorite place that you visited?
So my favorite place, it's always a tough question, but the reason why I choose this place is because it was my first country and my first time abroad by myself. So that was Indonesia, and Bali specifically. That was where I did 30 days of meditation and yoga retreat. And that was oh my gosh, I need to do it again. It was just such a healing experience.
Oh, wow. Oh my gosh. That's funny that you say Bali, because I was hoping you would say Bali. My husband and I really love Michael Franti, and he has a resort and a meditation resort there in Bali. Michael Franti, the musician. So, we were really hoping that we were planning on maybe going this fall, but not right now.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's the biggest thing I miss right now is I feel it's just kind of like, the word is stagnant. I kind of feel just like I'm playing the waiting game so I can go travel again. So I completely understand.
Oh, definitely. So what does your life look like now? Do you, you guys, I don't know what the conditions are there in South Dakota. Are you guys sheltering at home?
So we just reopened they just reopened, and I just reopened my business this last week. Was my first week back at the salon and taking customers. So the whole little town that I'm in has reopened, and things have kind of, I wouldn't say normal still. It's kind of still feels like people are sheltering in place. I definitely have noticed there's less people out and about.
Right. Yeah. But so you guys are kind of back to normal a little bit.
It doesn't feel normal, but we're back out in the world, I guess is the only way to put it.
Right. You're back to something. Action, right? A little action.
Action, because being behind the chair, it's been very crazy not to be able to hug my clients. Because, they're my clients and I've been with them for the whole year that I've lived here. And so not being able to hug them, both of us wearing a face mask and having to have them wait in the car before they can come in. And there's just so much more of a protocol that it doesn't feel normal, but
right.
but it is nice to actually be able to communicate with people like actually in person.
Oh yeah, it's funny because I'm chronically ill, so I spend a lot of time inside and I don't love it. And it's funny because everybody else is now too. So I imagine like being outside and like talking to people, that sounds amazing. It sounds really fun.
Yes, it has. That's been, that connection piece has been really, really nice.
Yeah. So what kinds of things do you do in your life, especially when we've been kind of hunkered down, that you think of as like self-care or self-nurturing? You said meditation had become important for you. Is that something you still do?
Absolutely. So I have developed for myself a ritual that I follow every morning that I try to wake up in the morning and just be grateful for having the start to the day. I definitely start the morning by drinking a glass of water. I start the morning with a meditation practice of minimum of 10 minutes, but sometimes 20 minutes of just finding that moment to be stillness. My favorite way to meditate, because there's so many different ways, is doing like a really nice body scan. So starting from the top of my head and just focusing my energy throughout my body and just go slowly, the front of me, the back of me, and just become present in my body. So that practice that I've been doing this practice on and off since my trip to Indonesia, but since being stuck at home, I've had all this free time. It's been so amazing what that shift and doing that every day has done for me.
Oh, that sounds like such a really powerful way to ground yourself and make you feel like it's gonna be okay, no matter what.
Absolutely. For the longest time, now that I've been doing this, I feel I haven't really been that connected to my body. I've just kind of been autopilot, I guess is the word that comes to mind. And coming back to being centered in myself is kind of really awesome. I recommend it if you haven't started practicing that. Even a minute or two of just getting inside yourself is enough to make a shift, I think.
Now, if you can't, obviously a lot of people can't learn that from someone in person. Is there like an app or a book or a way that you would recommend that people could learn to do that now?
Well, in my Facebook group that I have started since quarantined as well, it's the Backroads Coaching Facebook group. I do go in there and I go live on Wednesdays, or I record a video and I post it. And I've been going on there and doing meditations. I've been doing EFT tapping to help with anxiety. And so those are a good place if people would love to come join us in the Backroads Coaching Facebook group. They would learn it from me, or if not, I mean, YouTube is a vast school of its own.
Right. No, I'm really glad. I was hopefully going to get that out of you because I wanted people to be able to connect with you.
Absolutely.
And what better way than to learn from you? That'd be perfect.
Yeah, that's been really fun during quarantine to connect with people in that way, because I do start to feel restless if I'm not doing something. And so starting that awesome Facebook group and going on there and helping others has been very rewarding for me, because it's like a win-win, because it makes me feel good too.
Oh, I love that. That's great. What other kinds of things do you do in your life that makes you happy?
So when I am not traveling, just spending quality time with my husband and getting outside in nature is really very therapeutic for me. So I love hiking, I love camping, just being outside. And that's really very like my church, like getting outside in nature is so healing.
Oh, I agree. That's one of the reasons why I like to live. I like to live in lots of different places, but I live in where I live in Oregon. There's so many trees outside, and everybody always says, that it's like being in church when you're outside. And I mean, talk about a cathedral, right?
Yeah, your backyard is beautiful. I've been to one of the first trips my husband and I, then boyfriend, took together was to the coast of Oregon. It was Newport Beach, Oregon was the first trip that we've ever taken together. And I remember driving into there and all the canopy of trees. Like I'd never seen that in my life. I still remember that. I still remember the canopy, like you're driving down the road, but there's a canopy of trees over you. I'd never experienced that before. And that's your backyard. So beautiful.
It is, but well, like you say though, there's stuff to find about outside anywhere in the world, and I bet that helps you as a traveler too. Really going to those outside spaces.
Oh yeah, definitely. Everywhere that I've been has been a little different with outside spaces, because right now in North Dakota, it's definitely very brown and not very healy.
Yeah,
but there's beauty in that too.
That's true. I remember the first time I went to the desert, I had to work at it.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah, you can find it though.
You can find it. Yes, you can.
So what kind of a support system do you have in your life? Do you, obviously you have your husband and you have one dog?
Yes, I have a small dog. His name is Oso. His hashtag is Oso Famous on Instagram.
Oh my gosh.
He's super cute. But other than that, for support, I would say my mom. She's my biggest fan. She is a very spiritual woman, and she believes that everything always works out if you keep the faith. And so my mother has always been steadfast in, no matter what you're going through, like, keep the faith. It's going to be okay. Everything's going to work out. So she's the voice I hear in my ear whenever I'm struggling or having a hard time. And if if I'm not hearing her voice loud enough on the phone, she'll sit there and give me a sermon and breathe life back into me, because she is, my mother.
Oh, that's incredible. It's so, I mean, and it's so nice, especially now that when we haven't been able to like hug people, like you were saying, to recognize those people and celebrate them.
Absolutely.
That's great.
And we've been talking
so
more now that we're sheltered in place, and she's been loving it. I introduced her to Marco Polo, which is the app where you can you can do a little video of yourself and send it. And so since sheltering in place, we've been doing that a lot lately, almost every day. And that's been such an awesome way to connect that before this time that we wouldn't have done.
I know, it's so fun. I do that with my in-laws too. It's great.
It really is.
It's neat to see people in person.
Yes, and see what their voice and their body kind of become one at that point, and you're not having to guess.
Yeah. So, do you have, and especially this is interesting to me in terms of travel, do you have routines besides your waking up routines that are important for you that make your life work better?
Routines. So I'm one of those that building a routine it was a struggle for me. So over the years, I've learned how to be more routine. I used to be one of those people that just kind of didn't have a routine, kind of went with the flow of things and see how things happen. But now I do have my morning routine and also a nighttime routine that I do. At the end of the day, I will just let the day go. Just breathe and let it go. And I will try to envision what I want my future to look like, do a visualization practice, and then just kind of visualize what tomorrow will be like. And so that I've been doing for the last few months, and that's been really awesome for me. And, but as far as routine during the day, I just kind of go with the flow during the day. And I'm very proud of myself for having that morning and night routine, because it took a long time for me to get here.
Well, no, I just think it's interesting because some people, I'm like extremely routine driven. So the whole pandemic thing like threw me for a huge loop. And I always wonder if for people who are more seat of your pants kind of people, if it's, easier or harder.
Yeah, it's actually caused me to have a routine being sheltered in place. Actually, it's forced it even more and made it more like I don't forget now. Like I've done it enough that it's became a routine. And my husband's just like that. Like you're saying, he's very much into a routine. And so we're like the opposites that's attracted in that way.
That's funny. Well, hey, whatever works.
Exactly.
Now, do you feel like or when you learn stuff, because you have in your previous career, because you worked very much with people, do you feel like you learn better in a tactical way, like with your hands by doing stuff, or do you learn like visually or by hearing stuff?
I definitely am a hands-on person. I love to read, but I always need to get my hands into the action in order for it to stick. So I always say I learn better by teaching, which is so funny that now I've pivoted into a career where I am teaching, because whatever I learn, giving it back to others is what helps me learn it. So yeah, I would definitely call myself a more hands-on learner.
Oh, I like that. Okay, you said you like to read. So what's your favorite book that you come back to, or a favorite music you come back to, something like that?
I don't really have a favorite book per se. I'm always reading something new. Actually, on Sunday, I just finished the book called Outliers. I believe it's by Malcolm. Can't remember his last name. And that book was super, super interesting. It was talking all about how people who succeed, like the big names like Bill Gates and the big wigs, and the people that succeed that we think they're like man-made, they make themselves, and their one person gets them to success. And this book kind of talks about how they were born in a circumstance that set them on a path to have all these things happen for them. And if it wasn't, if they weren't born at the exact moment in time to have those things happen to them, like their lives would be so much different. And I really enjoyed reading that, because sometimes when we see those people that have made it and are billionaires and millionaires, we think, oh, this one person is so awesome. But we forget that there's an army behind them that's helped them get there, you know? And so that book was super inspirational for me. It was like my aha. It was a good one.
Gladwell, that's his name. Malcolm Gladwell.
Malcolm Gladwell, Outliers. Yeah, that book was really good. I finished it on Sunday.
Oh, that's cool. Actually, that's on my list. I read a couple other books of his, but and I can't think of their names at the moment, but he's been like, every time he has a new book come out, I want to read it.
Yeah. Yeah. With Shelter in Place, I found so online for libraries, you can go online and get books sent to you. So instead of having to go inside the library because we were sheltered in place, I was able to use this app that allows the books to just be sent to my phone.
Oh, wow. And
I was able to use it like on Kindle, or they had it, you could listen to the books. That was I can't remember what the name of the app is, but a Library to Go, I believe, or something like that. I believe it was called Library to Go. In any library that you're like your public library, you can go online and get books. So
that is a great idea.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
For those that love to read and not necessarily going out and buying every single book.
I read so fast that for me, that's really hard. I can buy everything I want to read.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh, that's cool. Okay. So what's next for your coaching? How can listeners get a hold of you, or are you taking clients right now?
I am taking clients right now. So I do have a website, is backroadscoaching.com. And also on Instagram, I am under my maiden name, Jocey Orelus, JOCEYORELUS on Instagram. And then, of course, my Backroads Coaching group on Facebook. You can come on there and join us for some meditation, some tapping, and some positive vibes. It's a small community, but we're growing, and I really enjoy getting in there and connecting.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so much for coming to talk with us.
Oh, yes, this was my pleasure. It was so much fun.
Oh, I can't wait. I'll be there next week so I can learn from you.
Awesome.
Great. Thanks so much for coming.
You're very welcome. Thank you so much for having me, Jen.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
I wanted to end today with my books of the week. I was very, very excited, and it took me all week, but I read 2 books by Erin Morgenstern this week, The Night Circus and The Starless Sea. I really recommend both of those books. They're perfect for quarantine time. You're immersed in this fantasy world. It's absolutely incredible. Also, I wanted to reiterate to all of the listeners that if you have a story you want to share or a success you want to talk about within chronic illness or otherwise, go ahead and email me at resilientpodcastmail@gmail.com. Thank you. Have a good week.
Sometimes we have to start over. Sometimes we have to fight back. Sometimes it's all too much. Lost inside the black. Our stories are brilliant. We are resilient. Our stories are brilliant. We are resilient. Sometimes we need to lift the voices